Hey guys, this is Jim. I'm up here in Spokane, Washington on the south side of the town, and nice brisk day. And I'm here with the supplier for Versetta stone, and he's just giving us some pointers, and we're going to go over a couple things that are kind of critical and some code issues and stuff like that to make sure that we get this done right. So here's Brandon O'Neill.
Yeah, so Brandon O'Neill, Wausau Supply. Today we're going to talk about the install here with Solid Structures. We're going to talk about an install of a wainscot on the front of a metal building, and we're using the Versetta stone product, Versetta by Westlake. Today we've got just a couple of stones high, really nice of the tight cut pattern with a wainscot cap, Jim. It looks great so far. What do you got going on?
So what we're going to do is there's a lot of different ways of trimming this off, and we're going to go over to the other sides over here and show you how we start it and stuff. But one of the ways that we're going to do is because we got metal coming around the side here. So as you can see, we got our J channel that's going to run off, and we're going to flush it off to here, and then we'll tuck our metal into the side. And then we got a wainscoting that's going to be running around, but we did the rock up in the front to match his house on this. Now, one of the things, a little trick that Brandon was showing us today, if we're going to run a base trim here on the top for when this top metal comes here. Brandon, tell us about what we got going on here with this paper being on top.
Yeah, so just a little trick I've learned over the years is we want to make sure that we have a shingling fashion of water draining down the building, coming onto our flashing and coming out. So instead of relying on a piece of tape, we rely on just an overlapping fashion. So what I showed Jim and the guys here today was I got 2 inches up the wall and I've got about 1.25 inches. So I just put this here, use that as a guide, cut across there. And now what's going to happen is our flashing is going to tuck underneath that. So if for some reason there's a failure in a tape connection, this would fail. But because we're not using a tape connection, we're using an overlapping shingling fashion, that water's always going to come back out to the face and drain off the product, Jim. So that's what we were talking about there.
Yeah, water mitigation is extremely important, no matter what type of area you're in. So let's go over here to the other side where we're in the middle of the install.
You know, one of the great features about this product by by Westlake is the Versetta stone has a 1/4 inch drainage. Let me grab a panel here so I can show everybody. The panel itself is offset off the wall by the flange, which creates a 1/4 inch drainage gap behind it. So any water that is going to get behind there is going to hit the weep holes, and the system is designed to allow it to drain out over our 2 layers of WRB. So it's going to drain out the system, hit the weep holes, and come out the bottom, come out the starter on the bottom and drain out of those holes.
So we're not going to have any water building up back here behind or anything like that. If there is water that gets there, it's going to go straight down to the ground anyways.
Absolutely. We know today in water mitigation, it's not if it's going to get there, it's when it gets there, what are we going to do with it?
Yeah.
So this is a perfect product for this. We need to get it out of the bottom of the system and let it drain.
Brandon, talk to us about the 2 layers and what is the actual reason? We know, okay, so it's code.
Yep.
But a lot of times we don't know why it's code. Yep. So why is it code that we have 2 layers of paper here?
So what it is in the building code requires 2 layers of paper behind a masonry product, whether it's mechanically attached or it's a mortar set product. The idea is this layer of paper is going to do its job to protect the substrate. This layer of paper is going to mitigate any water and allow it as a drainage plane. And then you have separation between the two. So if anything gets past that, now you've got another layer. And we require that behind any masonry products, especially mortar set products, because they're tight to the wall they're touching.
Right.
So this product, though, this is kind of just an extra line of defense, if you will.
One of the things that we like about this product is the ease of installation. It doesn't take there's a few little tricks. It doesn't take many tools. So a lot of times we do jobs that are way outside of the town. So sending a mason out there when it's 2 hours away, it's just, it's not possible. By the time you pay him to drive out there, the cost of the rock. So people don't dress up the front of their, in this case, a garage that is a post frame structure, because it just costs too much. So this here, we're able to send out with our building package, put it on a pallet, send it out there, and our guys can install it and dress up the front of this building. So it's a great product for something like that. Now over here, we have the beginning stages of it, and we're gonna show you the starter strip. We have the Versetta stone C-channel here onto the side. Yep. So Brandon, talk to us about this the starter strip, and
so this
how's it
starter
work?
strip, it has a notch here in the bottom, and the bottom of the panel has a tongue that sits down in that notch, and that's what holds that 1/4 inch off the wall, keeps the panel tight, and that's where you can see the weep holes are built in there, Jim.
Water
So,
can still get through there.
yep, it's going to still get through there. So what we're going to do here is we just put this on here really quick, but we would end up pulling these staples and we would tuck this underneath this wrap. That way we would continue our drainage. Yeah, exactly. We would end up going just like this. So we're going to continue our drainage system. So everything's coming out to the next layer in front to allow it to get to the weep holes and eventually out of the system.
So in our situation here, you know, we'd be 51.5 inches or so if we kept the rock going up. But because we want to tie this around going through, we started with a ripper. So one of the things that we were doing on this is that we put the starter down, helps hold it. But then when you put a 1/4 inch shim down through to where it can shim it out, and then globs of liquid nails to help hold that in from ever moving in and out. A little trick that Brandon showed us, and it's just a great way of, do you need to do it? Possibly not, but why not do the extra step to make it a better product in the end? So
Yeah,
as you can see here, we're going to go ahead and come back here at the end of this project, and we're going to show this, you know, product with the metal on the front and everything like that, you know, kind of show it off and show what you can do.
Absolutely, Jim, I'm very excited to see this. I've always thought that this segment of the business, a post frame building like this, where we've got people doing something in the backyard, they're trying to match their house, this building moves a lot. That's why we use metal. It moves a lot. And I've always thought that this is a segment that we can't tie it into the house, because putting a lick and stick or a masonry set or a mortar set product on this wall has a tendency to, we call it rock pop. That rock is going to get condensation behind it. It's going to freeze. It's going to pop it off the wall, or the flexing of the building, it's going to pop it off the wall. This Versetta product is a perfect application for a post frame building like this.
And one of the great things about the product is it's not a foam product and stuff like that. And I've been doing this since 1996. We've tried the foam products, and I've had customers call us back, you know, 3 or 4, 6, 8 years later, tell me to rip it off the building because it's faded, because it's cracking, because they hit it with the weed whacker, so it cuts right through it after it disintegrates and stuff. This is actually a real masonry product, right, Brandon?
Yeah, so if you research the company Westlake owns the Cultured Stone brand. They own El Dorado brand. This product is made in a plant down in California, and literally you walk into the plant, one side is Versetta and the other side is those products. All they did is they found stones, positioned them in an 8-inch by 36-inch panel, and then made a mold out of it and came up with a panelized system so we could have a mechanically attached system versus a mortar set system. It's the same cake mix, same colors, same everything. You could, if you look close, you might even find the same shaped stone as you do from those individual stones. So yeah, it's a great product for you guys, and it's concrete. It's going to be durable.
Well, guys, I tell you what, if you're a DIYer and you want to do this at home, you can get it done. So thanks for joining us today.